How dare you stoop so low, Eneh, to such a low life? You, the daughter of a billionaire, getting married to a wretched boy, the son of a nobody. It is disgraceful. Eneh's mother shouted the first time Eneh brought up the engagement. But I love Ubong and he loves me too, Eneh pleaded. Love, will love put food on your table? Will it buy you the life of comfort you deserve? No, Eneh, I will not be alive to see you throw your life away for a non-entity. That boy will never make it in life. You need to find someone worthy of you, someone from a wealthy family. Ubong was not just a handsome boy. He was also very brilliant. People usually think he comes from a wealthy family because of his striking good looks and appearance. His parents were poor, living in a small, dilapidated house in the village. He wore his school uniform with pride, always neatly ironed. The white shirts looking very immaculate. His classmates admired his diligence and intelligence. He was the smartest student in the entire school. Teachers loved him, and many female students wished they could date him. Among those who admired him most was Eneh, a girl from a wealthy family. Though they came from different backgrounds, Eneh was attracted to Ubong's brilliance and his charming nature. He often helped her with classwork, patiently explaining different concepts until she understood. Eneh, like many other girls in the school, was captivated by his charm. But for her, it wasn't just about his looks. She respects his intelligence and kindness. And as time goes on, they become very close friends. Their bond grew over the years. And by the time they both graduated from secondary school, they become inseparable. However, while Ubong gained admission into public university, Eneh's parents insisted she attend one of the most prestigious private universities in the country. Their paths diverged, but their hearts stayed connected. They called each other very often, exchanged letters, and made plans for the future, believing that their love would withstand the challenges of time and distance. 4 years later, they both graduated from the university and were posted to different states for their National Youth Service Corps. Still, they stayed in touch and their relationship grew stronger. Ubong, now a matured man, decided it was time to take their relationship to the next step. After they both completed their National Youth Service, Ubong asked Eneh to meet him at a popular joint in town. As they sat facing each other, sipping a bottle of soft drink and discussing happily. Then, with a deep breath, Ubong looked into her eyes and said, Eneh, we have known each other since childhood. You are the woman I have always admired, the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. We are both grown now, and I think it's time to make it official. Will you marry me? Eneh blushed and smiled shyly. Yes, she whispered, I will marry you. For a while, everything seemed perfect. They began to plan their future, talking about where they would live and what their life together would be like. But this happiness was shattered when Eneh's parents found out about the proposal. Eneh's parents were very wealthy. They had always known about Ubong, but had never taken his relationship with their daughter seriously. To them, He was just a distraction, a boy from a poor background with no future. Now, the idea of their daughter, the daughter of a wealthy and influential family, who married the son of a nobody was unbearable. How dare you stoop so low, Eneh, to such a low life? You, the daughter of a billionaire, getting married to a wretched boy, the son of a nobody. It is disgraceful. Eneh's mother shouted the first time Eneh brought up the engagement. But I love Ubong and he loves me too, Eneh pleaded. Love, will love put food on your table? Will it buy you the life of comfort you deserve? No, Eneh, I will not be alive to see you throw your life away for a nonentity. That boy will never make it in life. You need to find someone worthy of you, someone from a wealthy family. Despite her attempts to reason with them, Eneh's parents remained resolute. They introduced her to one of her father's business partner's son, a wealthy man who had shown interest in marrying her. Though Eneh's heart belonged to Ubong, the pressure from her family became unbearable. They threatened to disown her if she married Ubong. Eneh did not know how to tell Ubong that their marriage arrangement will not happen. The day Ubong had dreaded finally came. Eneh met him at his house. Tears rolled down her face. She told Ubong that her parents were not in support of their relationship. I can't marry you, Ubong. My parents have already arranged for me to marry someone else. I am sorry. The wedding is in 3 days. Ubong was devastated. He couldn't believe that the girl he had loved since childhood, the one he had dreamed of spending his life with, was now marrying someone else. He cried for days, locking himself up in the room and refused to eat or speak to anyone. His parents tried to console him. They told him to brush himself up and move on. But Ubong was inconsolable. Eneh married the wealthy man, and Ubong watched from afar as she began her new life. Years passed. Ubong was yet to recover from the heartbreak. He refused to accept another girl into his life. He stayed many years without a relationship. He decided to spend his time and energy to hustle for money and to prove himself to the world. Luck shined on him. He landed a good job with oil company, and in few years he became very successful. Yet, despite his wealth, he refused to allow any other woman into his life. His parents became more concerned, urging him to find a wife. But Ubong's heart remained closed. No one could replace Eneh. One evening, as Ubong was driving home from work, his car broke down on a lonely road with no mechanic in sight. He decided to walk in search of help. After some time, he stumbled upon a small mechanic shop and was surprised to see a beautiful young woman dressed in overall and covered in grease walking under a car. "Excuse me," Ubong called out. "My car broke down not far from here. I need you to come with me to check what is wrong with it." The lady looked up, smiled, and wiped her hand on a rag. "Okay, just give me a few seconds. Let me get my tools," she said. Within 30 minutes, she had Ubong's car up and running again. Ubong was so happy. He requested for her number, hoping to keep in touch. There was something about this girl that attracted Ubong. Her confidence, her skills, and her kind smile. That night, Ubong could not sleep. The next day, after work, he stopped over at the mechanic's shop. As soon as he stepped out of the car, Bola recognized him. He approached her and said, "My friend Bola, thank you for helping me fix my car yesterday. I don't know what I could have done if I didn't see you yesterday." It's nothing now. I was only doing my job. Besides, you paid me handsomely, Bola said. Bola was different from other women Ubong had met. She was strong, independent, and energetic. Though she had no family, she lost both parents at a very young age. She had built a life for herself through hard work and determination. For the first time since Eneh left, Ubong felt his heart opening up again. Ubong and Bola began to date. They dated for some months. Ubong introduced her to his parents, hoping they would approve of her. But to his surprise, they rejected her. "Ubong, we have waited so long for you to find someone. But are you sure about this girl?" his mother asked. "She has no family, no background. How can you trust him?" Ubong was furious. "I don't care about her background. Bola is the woman I love, and I will marry her with or without your approval," Ubong said. Reluctantly, his parents agreed, and the wedding arrangements began. The day of the wedding came. It was well attended by friends and family members. Nobody from the family of the bride were in attendance. Even her bridal train were members of Ubong's family. After the ceremony, they settled into marriage life. And at first, everything seemed perfect. But as time passed, Bola began to do something strange. Every day, she asked the family driver, Akpan, to take her to a remote area outside of town. When they got to a bush path, she would ask Akpan to stop her. Then she came down and instructed Akpan to leave and return only when she called. She kept on doing this for several months. Akpan became very curious about what she was doing and decided to inform Ubong. Akpan went to meet his boss, Ubong, at the balcony where he was relaxing. He greeted him and said, "Sir, there is something I would like to discuss with you." "Akpan, what is it? I hope you have not come to ask for salary raise," Ubong said. "No, sir. It is not about my salary. It is something very important." "Akpan, can we talk about it later? As you can see, I am very busy," Ubong said. "Sir, please, I won't take much of your time. It's very important." "Okay, I am listening. What is it?" "Sir," Akpan began, "your wife is doing something very strange and suspicious. Every day, she will ask me to take her to a lonely place and ask me to go and come back only when she calls. She had been doing this for over 6 months now, so I decided to let you know about it because I don't want anything bad to happen to you." Ubong was shocked to hear this, but he decided to be calm. He quickly came up with an idea. "Akpan," he called, "tell my wife you will be going to see your sick mother in the village tomorrow. and that your cousin will be driving her tomorrow. The next day, Ubong dressed up for work but stopped over at Akpan's house. He put on Akpan's uniform and covered his eyes with dark eyeglasses, gets into the car and waiting for Bola to come in. Few minutes later, Bola opened the back seat and sat down, ordered the driver to take her to a particular place. As they drove, Ubong's heart was beating very fast as he did not know what he was going to discover. When they reached the usual spot, Bola got out and told Ubong to leave and come back later. But instead of leaving, Ubong followed her from a distance. She walked down a dirty path and entered into a small house. Ubong was watching through the window. He was shocked to see Bola kneeling beside an old man, speaking softly to him. "I won't stay long today," she whispered, "but I will be back tomorrow. You know I love you so much." Ubong's heart sank. Could Bola be having an affair with this man? He felt he could collapse once again. He summoned courage, stepped forward and confronted Bola, and demanded for an explanation. Tearfully, Bola confessed. The man was Bola's father. He had recently been released from prison and was suffering from a severe stroke. She had been visiting him secretly. She thought that Ubong would reject her if he knew about her father's condition. Ubong was confused. So all this time, Bola had been carrying a heavy burden, afraid to share the truth with me. He realized that just like him, Bola had faced struggles in her life, the struggles that shaped her into a strong woman. Together, they decided to bring Bola's father into their home and take care of him. Though the journey was difficult, but it brought them closer together. Ubong was full of joy. Despite the past heartbreak, he had finally found a love that was real, built on understanding and acceptance. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.